Hello and welcome to today's video, what I believe will be my final review of the NordicTrack S22i. Now normally when I do reviews of these bikes, I just put a video out showing the good and the bad and different things I've experienced, hoping it helps you make a more informed decision. But when it comes to this bike, it's just a little bit more complex. There's a lot more going on, and there's a lot more stuff to talk about, and I think there's a lot of people that are on the fence on whether they want to buy this because some of the features talk to them and they're very excited about it, but they also have heard some horror stories. So I want to approach this video a little bit different. I want to talk about the pros and the cons that I've experienced and what I've seen through the comment sections on my videos and also read online, and try to just kind of help you if you're on the fence decide if this is a good option for you or not. But first, a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young man, 23 years old, with an amazing beard. And all this young man wanted was a working NordicTrack S22i to review. But after 5 months of waiting, all hope was lost. Until a magical sound rang out. So for this pros and cons video, we're going to start with a con, and that's that this bike is a little bit more likely to have problems. And to kind of throw out an example, and this is just made up numbers that I've come up with, but it's based off of what I've experienced, what I've seen in the comment sections, what I've seen online. If you were to go buy a Peloton, let's say 1 in every 200 bikes might have a problem, either right out of the gate or kind of initially. Pretty good ratio. You're very, very unlikely to have a problem. With a NordicTrack, I'd say it's more like 5 in 100. So it's just more likely to have issues. There are a fair amount of stories out there of people having a lot of problems and having to deal with trying to get these fixed right out of the gate or very early after getting them. So the good news out of that, 95 out of 100 are still going to be just fine. So when you order this, chances are you're going to be perfectly fine. But the chance of having an issue is a little bit higher personally in what I believe compared to some other models that are out there. So it's just something you have to mentally prepare yourself for in case you happen to have one of those bikes. But again, chances are you'll probably be fine. A pro of this bike, and that is that everybody that gets it seems to love it. Now, I follow the comments on my YouTube videos, and a lot of you have commented and gave me great feedback, and I want to thank you for that because that lets me give real life examples when I create these videos. And usually the comments for this bike are one of two. One is, I wanted to like this bike so bad, but it's been a complete headache and it's problem after problem, and I'm having the hardest time getting it fixed. And they're frustrated because they actually like the bike and they just want to use it. The second is, I have been problem free and it's been everything I hoped for. When I read the reviews about this bike or learned about this bike and learned about the features, I was so excited about them. I thought they were gonna be fantastic for me. It drew me in and it's been everything I wanted. So really what it comes down to is those that don't run into problems and they get this bike for the features they thought they were gonna love, they turn out to love it. It ends up being a great investment for them. So as long as you don't have problems, most people that like this bike truly end up loving it. A lot more pros and cons coming up that hopefully help you out, but if you don't mind, help me out by hitting that like button. You know I really, really appreciate it. The con of this bike is that support is poorly structured. So if you need to call and get support on this bike, you might start working with NordicTrack. But the way they're set up is the different companies are completely different entities. So if they say, we've determined this isn't our issue, you need to call this group. It isn't a transfer where they say, hey, here's our ticket, here's our information, continue troubleshooting with them. We know what's going on, we can share the information. It is a start over. And then unfortunately, there are more departments. So if they keep going and they decide, oh, it's not their issue, there are other groups that you might get sent to. And again, it is a start over and they don't share information. And unfortunately, this can result in a bounce around. So you might be on that third team and they go, no, I'm pretty sure this isn't us, go back to them. And you're starting over with that team again. And this can get quite annoying. It also doubles down on if you have a broken bike with the frustration level, because if you do get a bike that's broken, getting it fixed can be very difficult as you try to get one of these teams to take responsibility and do something to help you fix it, and kind of starting over and over again while also having long wait times to get to somebody. So that entire situation can be frustrating. Hopefully over time they improve it or realize ways to get better about supporting their customers, but as of this moment, it is not the best. A pro. And that's that this bike has a lot of features that help it stand out from a lot of the other bikes in this market, including push button for resistance and incline decline, monitor that moves for non-bike exercises and better view, amazing scenic rides, built-in fan, map your route feature, incline decline, and more. So this is a bike that the features can really get you excited about. Another con you need to be aware of is how long it may take to fix this bike if you need to have it fixed. Now, I've covered the support side of things and the delays that you might run into there or the frustration you may run into there, but there is also getting parts delivered to you or getting a technician to your house to work on those parts. And each one is having major delays right now. And in my experience, from recognizing there was problems until getting it fixed was over 5 months to finally having a working bike after getting it. And that is a huge delay. Now, I know some of that is Corona related because there are problems with supply chain right now and trying to get parts manufactured or delivered, and also technician availability because they have to be careful with current procedures, and so many people are buying home gym equipment. So I don't completely fault NordicTrack for that, but it does seem like they have bigger problems that they could improve upon and not make people wait so long to get their brand new bike working appropriately. So something to be concerned about, but also something that hopefully gets better over time as well. To summarize and to give you my take on what I think you should do, when it comes to home gym equipment, I always recommend that you go after the model that talks to you, that has the features that gets you excited, that when you look at this, you go, oh, that is the one I want. I love that one is for me. It has got the things I want. I will use that. Because when you get the model that does talk to you like that, you use it. It doesn't become the clothes hanger. It is something that you get excited about. When you are on the couch and saying, I don't feel like it tonight, that's the model that gets you to go work out. And I don't ever want to see someone compromise and go, well, that's the model I love, but it's got some issues, so I'll go over here and buy the one that I'm really not that excited about. Because we know what happens when you do that. Is this model perfect? No. They have some issues. It's a little more likely to have issues out of the gate. Their support isn't the best. There are some things you can run into, but as long as you take the steps to safeguard yourself, you should be fine, and more than likely, you're probably not going to have an issue in the first place. So get the model that talks to you. Sometimes you need to improvise. But to my point, just take everything I've talked about and use it to safeguard yourself. When it comes to these bikes, think local. Is there a local place that sells it that has a good return policy so you don't have to box it up and send it back to NordicTrack and pay those huge fees? Maybe second to that, consider Amazon, who does have a better return policy. Also consider extended warranties. In case you run into problems, you are safeguarded. Yeah. But if this is the bike for you, get it. Just make sure you safeguard yourself. Until next time, here's to a healthier you, and have a good one. The problems, you are safeguarded. Yeah. But if this is the bike for you, but if this is the bike for you, but if this is the bike for you, you want to say bye?
Bye. Bye.
Say have a good day.
Have a good day.